Jonathan Zenz, the senior minister here at this beautiful spiritual center, and it is such a delight to share this Sunday morning with you, our spiritual family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to get things rolling today. If you feel like you are able and would like to stand up and dance to our opening song, please do so. You know this song. We've done it a few times here. I had a dream so big and loud, I jumped so high, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I stretched my hands out to the sky and danced with monsters in the night. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. I howled at the moon with friends, and then the sun came crashing in. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. But all the possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. I hear it calling outside my window. I feel it in my soul. The stars were burning so bright. The sun was out till midnight. I say we lose control. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. Everybody's alright, everybody up now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Woo! That gets the blood going. Welcome to Unity of Tucson, where we are quite animated. Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful humans. What a delight it is to see these magnificent faces. Welcome to another, I'm out of breath. Woo! Welcome to another glorious Sunday here at Unity of Tucson, where we are here to celebrate love. That's what it's all about, celebrating love, because God is pure love. God is at the core of each and every one of us, and so let's let that be how we choose to proceed today. We are in a magnificent celebration of love. We are a spiritual community here at Unity of Tucson. We teach practical tools for a better life. And so if you are on board with learning some things today or being inspired to change your life in whatever way suits you best, feel free to take what you learned today and put it into practice in your life. If you have a smartphone, and are willing and would like to, I invite you to take that smartphone out, because we have people who are virtual members of our community who watch us online. And what I love to do is to have you go to our YouTube channel or our Facebook page or our website where we live stream the service, and just go to the chat function there and reach out and say hello to those who are watching with you online today. And I'm just a special hello to everybody who is watching with us online today. Grateful to have you here. When you are complete with that, make sure you turn your ringers off. But you don't have to put your phone away. I don't require that. The other thing that's happening is it is the first Sunday of the month. Wow, I really do. I didn't have extra coffee today, I promise. But I'm like bouncing off the walls. What else is new? So it is the first Sunday of the month, and on the first Sunday of the month, what we do is we celebrate everyone who is having a birthday during that month. The way that we do this is we invite you to participate in a draw. If you were coming in, you probably were asked if you were celebrating a birthday this month, and if you were, you would have been asked to fill out a ballot. Is there anyone who did not fill out a ballot? Right there, right there. Okay, so we have two, Roberta, we have two people who are here. Keep your hands up so that Roberta can bring you a ballot. There's three, I see three. Do I have four? I'm going for four now. So what'll happen is a little bit later, we will do a draw of the ballots. And what we do is I'm trying to make this happen in my brain. It's not clicking yet. I'm gonna take a breath. So on the ballot, you're asked to indicate a registered charity that we can give a portion of our tithe to the world to in celebration of your birthday. And so we'll do that draw a little bit later in the service. We have a vision and a mission here at Unity of Tucson, and I would love for you to share with me out loud the words of our vision statement. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. And the vision is how we see the world. The mission is how we get there. So please, let's exclaim how we get there through this mission statement. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. If you are joining us for the first time today, once again, I want to reach out to everyone who's watching online who may be joining us for the first time today and say thank you for being here with us, for spending your Sunday morning with us. We'd love to get to know you a little bit more, so if you go to unitytucson.com/connect and fill out some information there, we can keep this connection going. Always grateful for our virtual audience who are part of listen to me, our virtual community. I come from a theater background, so you're going to hear that come out sometimes. Always grateful for our virtual community who share this experience with us. If you are in the room and you are here for the first time today, if you are comfortable with identifying yourself by standing up, we have a gift that we would like to give to you. So is there anyone who's here for the first time today? Welcome, grateful to have you here. And remain standing if you would. While you get your gifts, please remain standing for just a moment, because there's something else that I would like to let you know. And that is that we at Unity of Tucson, we do our research, and we knew that you were going to be joining us here today. So we looked into you a little bit. And we found out something about you, and it is time for us to share that with you. Is everyone ready? Here we go. You are magnificent. Yes, you are. Thank you for shining your light and sharing your magnificence with us. Now, we do know that about you because it is an inherent truth, I think, for each and every one of us. And I would like for all of us to exclaim that truth for ourselves by saying this: I am magnificent. How does that feel? Okay. Oh, it's a slow roll out, or a slow ramp up today, but I'm glad it feels good. Glad it feels good. Would you please welcome today's Keeper of the Flames to the stage, here to light the flames of faith. This is Winnell Waters. And what she's here to do, and she is here to guide us through this ritual that we have adopted here at Unity of Tucson called Lighting the Flames of Faith. What happens here is we are acknowledging that all faith traditions, all religious practice, all religious idea, every spiritual philosophy, it's all born out of one thing, and that is the golden divine thread of love. And so we're going to celebrate that with each candle that we light here today.
We light a candle, we light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universal religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, for any seekers who may be unaware of the power and the presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are keeping open for them in our hearts. We light the final candle to represent the healing of any circumstance that requires divinity to be revealed. This is your candle. Whatever is in your mind and heart that requires light.
Thank you, Winnell. The candle here on your left is our peace candle. We keep the peace candle consistently illuminated with this understanding that its consistent illumination represents a consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we allow that inner peace to inform our thoughts, our actions, our deeds, our intentions, we collectively create a more peaceful experience of this thing called life right here on this planet, in this world. And so peace begins right where each and every one of us is. So let's honor together this candle by reading the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. Indeed it does. Will you please welcome, with a reading and affirmation and leading us in prayer today, our prayer chaplain, the leader of our prayer chaplain team, Laura Cass.
Well, if I have this right, I believe that our theme for this month is the power of will.
Yes.
All right. Didn't want to start out, and I'd worked on this for 2 days. It's the wrong power. Anyway, yes, we have a new month. This is the power of will. And if anybody out there is named Will, this is your month. Hey, go for it. Doesn't happen very often. But you know, there is an Indy car driver whose name is Will Power. Now, I just love that, and I wonder, did his parents have any great consciousness when they named him? Like, oh, son, the world is your oyster. You could go out there and do and be anything you want. You are willpower. Oh, that is so fabulous. I don't know if he has a big ego or what it is, but he's having a good life, I'll tell you that. But there are, as we think about will, what a great word this is, because will is a future word. There's nothing backward about it. We're not looking back. The back is already done. Will is out there. I will. We will. You will. It's all about out there. We've given up the past. We're looking to the future. We have many examples of people who have lived their lives by sheer will. Probably one of the most outstanding examples in our modern day world would be Mahatma Gandhi. Here is someone who lived truly by will. Did a number of things, as we know, with peaceful resistance, peaceful civil disobedience. And one of the most famous things he did, and this is probably before maybe any of us in this room were born, he organized something called the Salt March. And this took place in the early 30s, and there was a tax to be imposed on the people of India. And this tax was on salt. Also, besides charging a huge tax for the purchase of salt, it forbade the Indian people to go to the sea to harvest their own salt. So salt being a dietary necessity, especially if you're in India where it's very hot and humid, he organized, and I don't think he actually meant to organize, he decided to march from his ashram to the Arabian Sea, a distance of 240 miles. So he set out with his little walking stick, bare clothes that he was wearing, and as he went through village by village by village, he gathered up people until there were thousands of people who went to the sea. That is, to me, I have goosebumps thinking about it. But he is used as such an example. He was closely followed and emulated by Martin Luther King Jr. We have many examples of people. Some we've heard of, some maybe not so much. How about Helen Keller? What kind of will did she have when she couldn't hear or see you? How about Stephen Hawking? There's a beautiful example of will. And what about Thomas Edison? Wow, here is somebody who was fired from his first 2 jobs because he was non-productive. So, he had like 1,000, it took him 1,000 times to figure out the light bulb. 1,000 times. But when he died, he had over 1,000 patents. That is will, isn't it? And then those are the people there are others that we really don't know their names, but we've read about them. The parent who suddenly has this great strength to lift a car off their child. And many of us remember some years ago, there was a young man who was out hiking somewhere in the rocks, in the desert somewhere, and he fell between the rocks, and he couldn't get out. There was no one there. He had no help. And after several hours, he exercised his own will by amputating his arm. So that's kind of an extreme example, but they're all examples of will. Will is something we all have. It's a gift that we have that we decide ourselves how we're going to use it. And for those of you who follow sports like I do, a great NBA legend, Bill Russell, just passed away at the age of 88. He's been elected the most admired, prolific, terrific player, basketball player. And as he grew up, Jackie Robinson was already older than him, and so Bill used him basically as his mentor. Well, people have asked Bill Russell, what did you go through? What was it like going through as a little kid? And you must have encountered all kinds of racial discrimination. And Bill said, no, not really. I don't think I ever went really through anything, because my mother said to me when I was quite young, and he remembered this, disregard comments made to you by others, either good or bad. These people don't know you. They are wrestling with their own demons. The Dalai Lama said regarding will, "A heart full of love and compassion is the main source of inner strength, willpower, happiness, and mental tranquility." So how do we exercise our own will? That is something that is up to each and every one of us. What is there to hold us back? Nothing. Our belief in will allows us each to be creating our own life perspectives and being our authentic self. Henry Ford said, "Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are always right." So our will is a gift. It is up to each of us to step up, take that gift that is inherent in each of us, and deliver it in love and light. Probably the best saying regarding will is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest achievement." Jonathan's favorite. Namaste. So, I'm going to read the affirmation once for this month and then ask you to please join me twice while we say it together with depth and feeling and meaning and think about each word. Boldly, I commit a deeper willingness to shine my light. Together. Boldly, I commit a deeper willingness to shine my light. Once more. Boldly, I commit a deeper willingness to shine my light.
Let's take a moment to reflect on the affirmation and settle into this energy of magnificence. It's here. It exists because we are here. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
As I still my mind and quiet my thoughts, I allow myself to be fully present in this moment. I relax into this time and place and let all else fall away. The God light in me is shining brightly, radiating divine energy from the very center of my being, revealing that which is mine to do. I have faith in that divine energy, as I know that I am limitless. I meet the events of my life with grace and ease, exercising my own free will to receive new thoughts about myself as a spiritual being. I recognize only infinite possibilities and disregard any thoughts which no longer serve me. I know that I am a blessed child of God, and as God is infinite, I am therefore God. My wisdom and light cannot be diminished, as I am perfection and love.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The power of will is a tough one to consider, and I'm going to talk about, well, let's face it, I'm talking about it all month. So you're going to hear a lot about it. But when I was thinking about what song do I want to kind of launch us as the feature this month, there was one song that came to mind, and I even said to Linda, I thought, well, I do this song all the time, but I haven't sung it in 2 years. I thought we did it last year, but it is a song that speaks to me about choice, commitment, and willingness to step into what it is you are wanting to create in your life.
I'm gonna be someone. I'm gonna give something. I'm taking it all. I'm taking it all. It's gonna be my life. So I'm gonna live each day and each night, taking it all. I'm taking it all. 'Cause I can't keep hiding. No, I can't keep hiding. I can't keep running away. So I'm gonna be stronger, and I'm gonna be better made, and I'm gonna give everything just to bring me back again. I'm gonna be a braver soul than this. I'm gonna jump at all those many chances that I've missed. I'm gonna live my life beyond all these fears and forms of cowardice that keep leading me on. I'm gonna shine out like a beacon in the night. I'm gonna wrap my fingers around the stars tonight, 'cause I'm taking it all. I'm taking it all. 'Cause I can't keep hiding. No, I can't keep hiding. I can't keep running away. So I'm gonna be stronger, and I'm gonna be understood, and I'm gonna give everything just to bring me back again. I'm back again. 'Cause I can't keep hiding. No, I can't keep hiding. I can't keep running away.
Thank you. That song, in the business, it's what's called a power ballad. And you hear lots of power ballads as kind of the big songs of movies, you know, like the closing credits are always usually a big power ballad if it's a really inspirational movie. And it's a song that I was introduced to on a cruise, actually. Many years ago, I heard a performer on a cruise ship sing it, and boy, I thought, that's a song that I want to sing, and I'm grateful to put it into my book. So the power of will. The power of will is what we're talking about this month. And I feel compelled to clarify something first. And it's very interesting, the language, Laura, that you used today, because it's not meant to contradict what you offered today, but it's meant to perhaps clarify something today. And for me, that is the difference between will, willingness, and willpower. He is a good driver, yes. Yes. I have no doubt, I have no idea who he is, but I have no doubt, I only know who he is because of you. We get confused a lot of times, I think, because you oftentimes hear, oh, if it's God's will or if it's the will of God, right? Well, what is the will of God? That's the thing. Do you really know what the will of God is? Looking to see if anybody has an answer. I'll let it be rhetorical today. Do you know what the will of God is? Because I'll tell you what, I've been a minister for more than a decade now. I have no idea what the will of God is, except pure joy and love. That's what I've chosen to understand as the will of God. And so how do I fit into this equation as a full expression of God, which is what we all are? How do I fit into that expression? I think that the way I fit into that expression is through my willingness to be the expression of pure love and joy. And so for me, it's more about the power of willingness than the power of will. Because when we say the power of will, oftentimes that gets us into a determined state of mind, and we confuse that will or that willingness with willpower, where I must change things. Where we feel like we have to, and here comes the title, to coerce the law. We have to coerce God into doing something for us. So the whole message today is, what is your approach to this thing called life? Is it cooperation or coercion? Because we can be in absolute cooperation with the nature of our being, which is pure love and joy. And guess what happens when we are in cooperation with that? From that point of view, life magnificently unfolds. I hold this to be true in my heart. This is how I choose to approach my entire life. It is a belief that I have adopted in my own life experience. And I'm not here, I didn't say it this morning, but oftentimes I will say, I am not here to tell you what to believe. That's not my job. I'm not here to teach belief. I'm here to offer a teaching which you get to either adopt or not as a belief. But it's up to you. That's the power of will. It's up to you to have choice in your life. It is up to you to say, this is what I choose, and the power of will allows me to make a commitment to this in my life, and let's see how it unfolds. Because what I have found is that through spiritual practice, through the adoption of pure joy and love in my heart, life has just gotten so much better. It just has. Because I don't spend all of my time thinking about the, what if? Even though all of society wants me to think about the, what if? I'm tired of thinking about the well, what if? I don't need to think about the well, what if? I am here to be a magnificent expression of joy and love and nothing else, and nothing will shake me from that. And the good news is, that's my beingness. I don't need to coerce spirit into making anything happen to allow me to live through love and joy. I just need to adopt love and joy as the central focus of my habitual thinking and that habitual belief system, and tap into what it is I feel in relationship to those thoughts and beliefs, because the feeling is the thing that is going to put it out there and motivate it into expression. Winnell's squirming. You're loving this, aren't you? So, coercion. Coercion is manipulation. We do not need to do that, because here's the other thing about coercion. Coercion takes a lot of energy. Doesn't it? It takes a lot of energy. Have you ever tried to coerce somebody into doing something they didn't want to do? Don't do that. Because I'll tell you what, it's not going to work out in the long run. Same thing goes with God. Don't try to coerce God into being something or do something, because ultimately the minute you let the energy dissipate, the minute you stop trying to coerce and put all that energy into it, it's going to go back to what it was, which is its natural state of being. Now the thing is, we can create through coercion, but creating through coercion never lasts. And so part of what we are looking to do in the New Thought philosophy is adopt a cooperative state of mind to be in the flow. You ever hear about that? We always talk about, we want to be in the flow, right? Being in the flow is not being in the flow. When we are in the flow of pure joy and love, what better life could there be? Now, I also want to acknowledge the fact that we carry with us lots of things from our past, and we believe those things from our past. Anyone have some beliefs that they carry from their past? I'm like, if every hand does not go up, I will be very surprised, because here's the thing. I'm the minister. I still carry stuff from my past, but what I have learned through this philosophy and through spiritual practice is that the degree of willingness I have to look at those things and determine whether or not they are working for me is the path I have to allowing myself to be in the flow of pure joy and love. And if it's not working for me, then it is up to me to do the work to release it, to shed it, to let it go, to be done with it once and for all. I don't need to coerce it out of my life. I need to cooperate with the center of my being, which is pure love and joy. So, cooperation is about being in the flow. It is not about giving over to the external world of circumstance. It's easy to do that too. Or even the notion, it's not even about the notion of giving over to a supernatural being out there watching us all the time, whether you're good or bad. God is not Santa Claus. But we treat it like Santa Claus, as though it's going to bestow on us gifts if we're good people. And let's once and for all let go of that notion, because that is not at all what we teach in New Thought. We do not teach that you can get what you want in New Thought. But that's what I was promised. What we do teach is that you get what you are equal to in mind and in heart. So if you are looking to change something in your experience, it is about letting go of that which is contrary to it in mind and in heart. God is not a supernatural being out there with whims and desires. It is the creative energy at the core of each and every one of us. And every aspect of our expression is God in motion, in expression, in form. There can be nothing separate from the infinite. And so if we are willing to be in the flow with that magnificent creative energy, then we are absolutely living through the power of willingness. And our willingness is what directs this creative energy with grace and with ease. And I think that we should allow it to be graceful and easeful. In some ways, willingness does work hand in hand with the power of release. That's the power in November. The power of release. I want to talk about the power of release a little bit. On June 19th, 2011, I came to Unity of Tucson for a service. I was not yet a minister. I was about to be a minister because I became a minister at the end of July 2011. But I was visiting Tucson from, most of you know, I grew up here. So I was visiting family. I came back to Tucson, and I was living in LA, came to visit. June 19th, 2011. I came to the service. I met Larry and Mary Ellen. No, I actually only met Larry. Mary Ellen was not there that day. And Larry was the previous minister, for those of you who may not know that. And it was lovely. I loved the service. I think, Linda, I'm sure you were there. Yeah. And I remember sitting, I was right there, right about where Deborah Roberts is. That's about where we sat. And I remember thinking, oh, I'm about to be a minister, and I'm so excited. And I was like, what do I want to create? See, there's the energy starting to ramp up, the coercive energy. What do I want to create? What kind of minister do I want to be? What kind of church do I want to have? And I was like, ooh, yes. And I got through the whole service, and after the service, I went and I walked the labyrinth. And I remember standing at the middle of the labyrinth after making my way into the center and realizing I had to let go in order to allow the ministry that was waiting for me. In that moment, I had a light that came through, and I thought to myself, I looked at this magnificent property and I thought, while I don't expect I will ever move back to Tucson, I recognize this as an avatar for what can be in my ministry. One of the things I had to do was be willing to release what was, which was I had been working through ministerial studies as the administrator for my church. I went to my boss, my minister, and I said, I have to leave this job when I become a minister, otherwise I will always be an administrator for this church. And if I'm going to step into ministry, I have to leave. So I made myself available to the potential, and I extended myself a vision of what I thought it could be without going into that place of coercing it into being. I allowed myself to release the energy of manipulation and open up to the grace and ease of infinite creative energy to allow something to flow forth. And so what happened is on July 31st, the day that I opened my letter that said, you are a minister, I went on Facebook because that's what you do to celebrate, right? I go onto Facebook and I wrote, I passed. I mean, it's a big deal. It's, more than 6 years of study to become a minister in this tradition. And so I was super excited. And I'm like, I passed. I'm open. Come on, world, make it happen. Come on, universe, make it happen. And I got a message back that day from a friend of mine who was living in Toronto, Ontario, who said, congratulations, our minister resigned 2 weeks ago and we need a new minister. People always ask me, how did you end up in Canada? That's how I ended up in Canada. Literally the day I became a minister, Canada reached out to me and said, come on up. I didn't expect that to get a pause. Okay, I'll take it. Do I think that would have happened if I had tried to willpower it into happening? Absolutely not. I had to be open and available to the infinite potential that is the divine power, the infinite divine essence, to flow through and create the possibility for me and bring it into expression. And it has to be rooted in knowing who I am. Charles Fillmore wrote this, the will is the executive faculty of the mind and carries out the edicts of the I am. What we're talking about is the willingness is the thing itself that propels creation into being. And your willingness to be in that flow is a willingness that will bring into your expression and experience exactly what you are equal to. It's always doing it whether you know it is or not. That's the thing, I'm gonna use this word. That's the thing that sucks about New Thought. Is it requires us to look at what our lives are and determine whether or not we want to keep living that life. And then you know who's responsible for turning it around and changing the life we live? Not God, not anybody else. It is up to us to say, this is not what I am equal to. I choose to not be equal to the hardship or the heartache any longer. I choose to step into something new here, now, and evermore. And that today I choose to be pure love and joy. So the will is the executive faculty of the mind and carries out the edicts of the I am. That is essentially saying, remember who you are. Remember who you are. In Exodus, or for those of you who may not be so scripturally oriented, in the 10 Commandments, Charlton Heston goes to Mount Sinai. And he has an experience up there, right? And there's a burning bush. And it's the voice of God. And Charlton Heston as Moses, or Moses in Exodus, asks a question. Well, how will I let everyone know who you are? Like, how do I prove to them? How do I prove that these words, these commandments, that this is from God? And what does God respond? Tell them, I am what I am. Remember that in the 10 Commandments? That's how we often know the story. I am that I think I said what? I am that I am. There's actually something slightly off about that. Because in the original Hebrew, it's not quite I am that I am. In Hebrew, it is, I will be what I will be. I will be what I will be, which implies choice, which implies that we all can align ourselves with the understanding of the great infinite divine power and live from that point of view in choice. For me, there's also an alignment in this with the quantum aspect of creation. Now I'm getting into quantum physics. Did you know you were going to get Old Testament and quantum physics all on the same day? In quantum physics, there is a theory about creation. And the theory about creation is that this is what happens, that we exist in a wave of potentiality, a quantum wave of potential, of potentiality, of possibility. And the way that possibility or potentiality comes into expression and being is that the wave is collapsed through our observation. Now, our observation can be motivated by the willingness we have in mind to see life in a particularized way. So if you were looking to change your life, you don't have to work so darn hard at it any longer. All we have to do is change our mind, change our belief, and change that feeling that surrounds it so that we can collapse that wave into the expression of life that we would like to have. Frequently, what happens, though, is we collapse that wave with all sorts of stuff that we bring from our past, and we apply it to the wave. And so the wave can't quite create what it is we want to create. And so our work is to let that stuff go. We gotta let that stuff go. If it is not serving you, let it go. And if it is serving you, continue to allow it to serve you, because we often talk about, we gotta let go of the past, without ever acknowledging that there are good things that we bring into our experience from the past, aren't there? Let the good things inform your present and your future. That's totally okay. We don't have to let it all go. Just let go of the stuff that doesn't work. For some reason, we are trained to not trust that inner willingness. We're trained to not trust inner willingness. It's what society tells us. Oh, you got to watch out. You got to be careful. You can't trust too much. You can't do this. You can't do that. No. We are living in a sea of no. So what will it take today for you to be the absolute yes to your life and the way you choose to be and the way you choose to express without looking at the opinion of anybody else, because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It absolutely does not. Thank you for bringing that up too, Laura. I also love that Henry Ford quote. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Many find their way to the New Thought teaching to reclaim that sense of power through willingness. I think that's one of the, I talk a lot about the things that drew me to this teaching. That's one of them. I was like, oh, I can actually create a magnificent life for myself. I get to collapse the infinite wave of quantum potential as long as I cooperate with the infinite law of creation. I don't need to coerce the infinite law of creation, and it's so much easier than trying to make my life happen. It's going to be really hard to sing a high note later because I'm doing this growly thing. So, my question is this: what will you cooperate into being today? What choice can you make today to cooperate something into being? What is our state of willingness offering in support of the betterment of our lives? And here's the thing, can we be willing without comparing our willingness to our past selves or even to anybody else? Can you let that go? Because I'll tell you, there is absolute infinite freedom in letting that happen. What if we were willing to be done with the dogma and the rules? Not just in religion or in past faith traditions, but all the dogma and the rules that we have adopted that we carry with us like a weight. What if we were willing to be done with those? To say something is wanting to happen here so extraordinary that it cannot be quelled if I am open to allowing and being in the flow with it. You have a mind. You have a mind. Your mind is a share of the infinite mind, so the choice is yours. Simple, not always easy. But you know how you make it easy? You start looking at the things that you've decided make it not easy, and you say, I refute you. I don't need to carry on with this conscious awareness of not easy. I get to turn it around and say something new, but it's going to take work. It's going to take work. So, ask yourself, what convinces me that something is difficult or impossible? Because that's the thing we don't look at. We just accept things as difficult or impossible. But have you ever stopped to think, what has proven to me that this is difficult or impossible? Once you uncover that, address it, make a determination in that moment as to whether or not you want to continue to allow it to be active in your life. Big question, is that true? Is that true? It requires a deep dive because it may bring up stuff that's going to be very uncomfortable for you. But if you have a willingness, I guarantee you life gets better on the other side of it. So what if we were willing to accept that we are the only creator of our reality? We are the only creator of our reality. Nothing out there is creating our reality. We are the creator of our reality. And question what we have been taught. Question any agreement we may have made throughout our life that says this: you are a victim. What if we were willing to question that? Because here's the thing about a victim consciousness. Victims require perpetrators. And as long as we move through life with a victim consciousness, guess what? Everything in our life becomes the perpetrator to our victimization because we've decided and willed it into being through a consciousness. Taking charge means we do not blame our past. We do not blame others. We do not blame. Taking charge means responsibility, our ability to respond in this moment and know the truth of how we will move forward. What if we were willing to let go of our triggers? Anyone got triggers? What if we were willing to let them go once and for all? Because here's the thing about triggers. We installed the trigger. We're the only ones who can uninstall that trigger. One trigger for many who come to New Thought is the word God. That's a trigger for a lot of people who come to New Thought because they have an old idea from past religious experience that says this is what God is. And so they come to New Thought churches and they hear me get up here and say, God, 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 God. I talk about God all the time. I am a minister after all. part of it is letting go of the trigger of the word, because the word is just the word. The meaning behind the word is what is important. And if you are willing to adopt a new meaning, then you can adopt the word. Spend less energy fighting language and more energy being focused on the principle behind the language. What if we were willing to see beyond the pain of others? To let go of defining others by their pain and see only through the lens of compassion. There is a call in this spiritual community to do just that. It's the first two words of our mission statement: love only. Love only. That is looking past the perception of pain in others. What if we were truly willing to forgive everything? To find spiritual understanding and let spiritual understanding be the path to forgiveness, allowing us to release regrets, to release judgments, to release blame, and to let go of the opinions of others that we so often bring upon ourselves. I hear this opinion, but what this person has to say. Here's the thing. You ever have the experience of everybody's telling you how great you are? Oh, I've got 99 people telling me how great I am. Anyone have that experience? But that one person who says, oh, so great, that's the one we listen to. And that's the one that we take to heart. And that's the one that brings our whole day down. That's why it's important to not listen to the opinions of others, whether we call them good or call them bad. They do not matter, and the opinions of others say more about other people than they do about you. Let those things go. They don't matter. What if we were willing to accept ourselves as the architects of our own salvation? There is no salvation required when we know who we are. But many people find themselves in faith traditions that are saying, you require salvation. There is no salvation required. What are we trying to save ourselves from? Well, I'll tell you what I try to save myself from. I try to save myself from all the erroneous thoughts that I continue to carry in my life. That's the only thing I need saving from. And the only person who can do that for me is me. There is no salvation required when we know who we are. Right where we are, we create the outer experiences of our lives, rooted in the inner life of thought, belief, and feeling. So what will you create today? This, to me, is being in cooperation with the infinite, as opposed to trying to coerce the infinite. This is the power of will, the power of willingness. Perhaps that is the way to better consider it, the power of willingness, and you are worthy of the benefits it offers. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. If you are new to our community, this is the point where I give homework. I give homework each week because that's how I choose to invite our community to make this a practice, a practical spiritual philosophy. So the homework this week is sort of similar to last week's, where I said, disrupt those thoughts. That's what I offered last week. This week, I'm inviting each and every one of us to every single day review our spiritual practice. To review our spiritual practice. What is the approach? How are we involved in spiritual practice? Look at your spiritual practice each day and make a determination whether or not it is continuing to serve you. And if it is not continuing to serve you, find something new. If you choose to release it, replace it with something else. This is all born in a willingness to let this philosophy work for you perhaps better today than it ever has in the past. And it doesn't matter if it worked for you 10 years ago. If it's not working for you now, shift it. Remember, you are in charge. Nothing outside of you has power over you. That's the truth. Let's go ahead and take a moment of contemplation. If there's something that has resonated with you, a kernel of truth that has resonated with you, let that be fully present here and now. Let it be present in your mind and in your heart. And simply allow the energy to flow. Be in a state of willingness, of cooperation.
When I forget we are one, and I regret things that I've done, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. Right here in this moment, I acknowledge an infinite power and presence being the only thing there is. This magnificent creative source, this magnificent principle is what I choose to call God. I choose to give it the name God, and I recognize it as infinite universal unfoldment. And there can be nothing separate from the infinite, so I know that this is the truth of each and every one of us. We are this power, we are this presence, we are the light, we are the life, we are the love. We are the magnificence of God expressing here and now. We always have been and always will be, and so I adopt this understanding right in my heart, right now. And so I know that the word I speak is a word that is backed by the infinite creative power, and so I speak my word on behalf of each and every one of us to know that there is a magnificent flow of willingness at the core of each of our hearts. That there is an opening to pure love, an opening to pure joy, an opening to pure harmony that is letting itself be known as each of us, as the lives we lead. And as we know this, it comes into expression. And I accept the love, I accept the light, I accept the life. It is with gratitude overflowing from within that I allow this to be. I affirm it as so by saying, and so it is. If things go wrong and my way seems dark, and if I lose my song and life breaks my heart, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. In this moment, I am free.
Thank you. Do we have a board member? Who's our board member today? Did we establish? It's Ross. Would you please welcome Ross Boehm to the platform? Ross is one of our board members. Delighted to have him serve. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're in the middle of monsoon season. A year ago, we had a couple of weekends where we had a bucket right here to save our water. Well, I mean, because of a roof leak. It was actually a wall leak. We had a bucket in the foyer more than one time, and that was the roof leak. We all got together, had the roof repaired, had the walls sealed and painted, and I thank all of you who have contributed to that we can feel comfortable that it's not leaking now. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Ross. Yes, and that took the commitment of a community. And this is a spiritual family, so I like to think of it as a spiritual cooperative where we each get to participate in the care of our own facility, our own church. And so I invite you to take out whatever it is you're offering Unity of Tucson today as a financial contribution and hold it close to your heart, recognizing that it is energy, it is money that is what I like to call the energy of God in motion. And so, as you give today, let it be a gift from love, rooted in love, and let it flow forth into expression and experience. As we do that, let us share our givingness statement together. I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence as the lavish source and substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust in its ever-present circulation, knowing its blessings return to me. And so it is. As the baskets go around,
We're going to sing our circulation song. If you want to move your body, feel free. It's call and repeat. I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. Sing that.
Circulate my love right now, I circulate my love.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
Circulate my love right now, I circulate my love.
And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. Circulation across the nation. It's a love around the world and beyond. I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
I circulate my love.
Circulate my love.
And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. Oh, 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 oh.
here to do a blessing over our offering is our prayer chaplain, Deborah Walker.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So it is with gratitude overflowing that we take in these offerings and these gifts. And we affirm that they flow forth and manifest in wonderful, wise, creative expressions that benefit Unity of Tucson and benefit the world as a whole. And so it is. Amen.
So it is. Amen. Thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Would you please welcome Sue Rumsey to the platform? She is here to introduce our new art show in our gallery. Grateful to have Sue Rumsey as the magnificent manager of our gallery. Here she comes. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
Grateful to know that. She says she is well. I repeat things for people online.
Right, okay. Before I start, I'd like to thank Laura for her words. They had meaning, but they also took away a migraine that I was getting. I don't know if you've ever had a migraine, but these lights start to flash in your eyes, and I get migraine aphasia, which means I can't talk. So I haven't done it very often, but anyway, so I started to panic. Oh no, I have to get up and do this, and I can't talk because I've got this migraine.
So I just decided to drop my shoulders, relax, listen to Laura, and the migraine went away. So, thank you. So this month we have 6 interesting and talented women showing their artwork in Galleria Sagrada. Patricia Inman, Sally Katz, Donna Lamb, Paula Lynn, Sally Inman, and Beverly Taylor are our artists. They've had varied careers. Several were teachers, including Teacher of the Year in 2 states. That's one person, 2 states. One sold real estate. One was an attorney. They've lived all across the country, from New Hampshire to Arizona, and several have traveled extensively. Their common denominator now is water media, which includes watercolor and acrylic. But one was a metalsmith, one painted with oils and pastels, another did toll painting, and another collage. They paint together weekly, and all are members of the Southern Arizona Watercolor Guild. Their subject matter ranges from cowboys to roosters to lizards to cats. Lots of cats. One of the artists, her last name is Katz, K-A-T-Z, so she's really into the cat paintings. You'll notice red dots on several of the paintings, which means they've already sold. These talented ladies hosted their own reception Thursday evening for friends and family and sold 6 paintings. Their paintings will be hanging in our gallery through the months of August and September. But if you see one you like, don't hesitate, as you can see that their work is popular and selling fast. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sue. As Roberta makes her way up with the basket, I think that we should sing happy birthday to everyone who's celebrating. If you're celebrating a birthday this month, feel free to stand so we can give you some love. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay, and now a whole bunch of them. I'm gonna grab this one right here. So let's see. The winner of the draw today is Winnell Waters. And yes, congratulations. And so a portion of our contributions this month will go to her choice, which is Youth on Their Own. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A couple of things to let you know about. There has been a last-minute change. Alex, our fearless choir leader, was not feeling well today, so he has not been here today. So there will not be choir rehearsal today. So if you were planning on being here, I apologize. That was a last-minute. I got his email this morning, so there will be no choir rehearsal today. The dinner gala and silent auction are coming up. September 30th is when they are happening. I realize there's no date up there. I should probably change that. But tickets are now available. You can get your tickets by going to our website at unitytucson.com. You can also purchase tickets in our Desert Light bookstore. The date of the event is September 30th. It is happening right here at Unity of Tucson, and it's going to be an extraordinarily beautiful experience. That said, if you have any contributions that you are willing to make or know anyone who is willing to make a contribution to support our live auction, please see Sherry Boland. There she is. You can bring them on Sundays, you can bring them during the week, and we have a system now for collecting those things and getting them prepared for the silent auction. So please do help us out. Fall classes, we started a class this past week, the Unity Prayer class, but there's another class that is starting on Wednesday, Metaphysics 1, being taught by our very own licensed Unity teacher, Susan Smith. There she is, waving her hand back there. And yes, hi, Susan. So if you want to participate in that class, and I think everyone should participate in class because it's great to feel good on a Sunday, but it's in class where you really get to the nitty-gritty of putting this to practice in your life. Sign up for that class either online or in our bookstore. That class begins on Wednesday. Today's prayer chaplains in service are the 2 prayer chaplains whom you have seen here today, Laura Cass and Deborah Walker. They will be available on either side, midpoint of the sanctuary. If you need a moment of prayer, feel free to seek them out following the service today. You can also drop prayer requests into our prayer request box. You can also email prayer at unitytucson.com or submit prayer requests through our website. One thing that I want to let you all know is that the prayer requests that come through don't just stay here either. They go to Silent Unity as well. So we're putting prayer teams out in the whole world to work for you. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today happen. I want to say thank you to Deborah Walker for leading our meditation this morning. Blessings to you. Thank you to Laura Cass, our prayer chaplain, giving the affirmation and the reading and the prayer today. Always grateful. Winnell Waters, thank you for your magnificent service to our community by lighting the flames of faith. I want to say thank you to our technical team, Don and Jim and Rowan in the back there. Thank you so much for your service. Ross, thank you for guiding us today in our offering. And let's give it up for this magnificent musical team. Linda, Joshua, Raphael, our Unity of Tucson band. Grateful, grateful, grateful. And thank you, each and every one of you, for being part of this thing called life. I am so grateful that you are here in my life, and I'm grateful that we get to call this a spiritual family. As we complete our time here, let's share together this prayer of divine awareness. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. Feel free to stand and dance with our final song today.
And sing along if you want. Many of you will know this. There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when the love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. It's the reason. There's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candle lights. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let that wonder take you into space and lay you under its loving embrace. Just feel the thunder as it warms your face. You can't hold back. Let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. It's the reason. Oh, let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Yes, let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. It's the reason. And let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. It's the reason. Yes, let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. It's the reason. Make it a magnificent week, everyone. Namaste.